Almost there.
Oh, shit! It's Kobe Bryant.
Help me.
Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out.
Pass.
Vanessa Bryant has said that the only thing worse than losing her husband and daughter that day is knowing that sheriff's deputies and firefighters took and shared graphic close-up photos of their remains.
Here, Vanessa Bryant is still dealing with this. New details in the legal fight over photos deputies and firefighters allegedly shared from the site of Kobe Bryant's helicopter crash. Court papers filed by Vanessa's attorney show a former sheriff's department captain expressed concern that the sheriff's order to deputies to delete the pictures from their cell phones could constitute an order to destroy.
Everybody's wondering, when is the end? Have you ever thought about it?
Oh yeah, I wonder too. I wonder too. And when do you know?
After the crash, there was a recent leak that suggests something much deeper, as if nothing is adding up. Insiders are claiming that Kobe Bryant did not simply pass away. Since he is among the most iconic, he was removed. Without a black box, the world's untouchable athletes perished in an accident. Not enough warning. There were no concrete answers, but years later the truth began to surface. And today, the entire business is talking about sacrifices. Now that it is back, it does not even feel like a reach. The dots are joining together.
Breaking news in this Sunday afternoon, five-time NBA champion, former league MVP Kobe Bryant died earlier this afternoon in Los Angeles in a helicopter crash. News reports are just coming in among multiple victims. Kobe Bryant on that helicopter. We're going to have Ramona Shelburne join us now from Los Angeles. She is on her way to the scene right now. Ramona.
The globe was rocked on the morning of January 26, 2020. The news was initially reported by TMZ. One of the best basketball players in history, Kobe Bryant, passed away. It did not feel like a helicopter crash in the headline. After one confirmation after another, it seemed like the start of a dystopian sports film. Along with Kobe's departure, 7 other people, including Gianna's teammates and their families, joined him, including his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna Gigi Bryant. The Sikorsky S-76B aircraft that was transporting them crashed in the Calabasas, California hills. The first report suggested that the meteorological conditions were likely to be the cause of the heavy fog, so impoverished that even the LAPD grounded its own helicopters that morning. But what caught people off guard right away was how Kobe, a man with seemingly endless wealth, could find himself in such a dangerous circumstance. Then, only a few weeks after the world-shaking catastrophe, fresh reports emerged that left fans in shock. Turns out deputies from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department chose to go full-on disrespectful. They had the nerve to take graphic photographs of the crash site like actual crime scene selfies and spread them around like party favors.
Pictures. He showed me pictures. Pictures of what? Pictures of all the dead bodies. And then he began describing what he saw. They were all burnt, and he got very graphic with it.
Mendez says the bartender told him the deputy crews laughed and found the photos amusing. Mendez hoped none of it was true.
But wait, it gets worse. One of them tried to use the photos to pull a girl at a bar. Like, that's not a pickup line, that's jail time. Vanessa wasn't having any of it. She filed a lawsuit accusing the Department of invasion of privacy and emotional distress. She described how she lived in constant fear that her daughters would somehow stumble across these images online. The trauma was off the charts. The whole thing quickly escalated into one of the most jaw-dropping privacy violation cases in celebrity history. Fast forward to 2022, and Vanessa gets a win, a $16 million payout from the jury. But here's the thing, the pain doesn't just disappear. The public was left thinking, is that all? Was there more lurking beneath the surface? And let's be real, the internet didn't let this rest. People started diving deep, questioning what really went down with Kobe. Something just didn't add up about that crash. The timing, the symbolism, the eerie foreshadowing, all of it feels way too orchestrated to just be a coincidence. At least, according to those who believe this wasn't just a tragic accident. And listen, we're not saying what happened was definitely some Illuminati ritual. Fans, however, believe that there are too many indicators to ignore. Let us return now. January 25th, 2020. Philly is home to LeBron James, passed Kobe on the NBA's all-time scoring chart that evening. LeBron needed to score precisely 18 points in order to accomplish it. That number, isn't it? Shady already. Since 18 is equivalent to 6 plus 6 plus 6, you are well aware of the occult world's obsession with symbolism. However, it becomes more eerie. During the third quarter, LeBron smashes the record. He rises to the third position. All three of these energies, it's 33. It is frequently mentioned in Freemason numerology. LeBron talks about how unbelievable it feels to pass Kobe in Philadelphia in this incredibly moving interview that he does after the game. Kobe's legacy began in the same place. This is the portion that will make you shiver, though. According to reports, Kobe and LeBron spoke on the phone that evening. Thus, that might have been Kobe's final discussion. Next, Kobe tweets what would be his last message. LeBron's exact number of points to pass him, 33,644, was used to congratulate him. There were still another 33 in there. A terrifying coincidence, or perhaps more, depending on your point of view. Kobe and his daughter Gianna were dead within 12 hours. This is where it begins to feel like a movie storyline, so let us go back before the crash. Do you recall the television program Legends of Chamberlain Heights? In 2017, a cartoon episode was broadcast. Indeed, it depicts Kobe literally dying in a helicopter crash 3 years before his passing. The characters say, "Save the trophies," while Kobe is stranded in a helicopter with his championship trophies all around him.
Almost there. Oh, shit! It's Kobe Bryant.
Help me.
Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out.
Pass.
And it is different when you view it now, knowing what transpired years later. Oh, but hold on, it gets more eerie. Back in 2012, a random Twitter account actually posted Kobe is going to end up dying in a helicopter crash. I had no idea who that somebody was 8 years ago, but they needed to be questioned right now. It cannot be a coincidence, for example. And the tweet was dated November 13th, in case you missed it. When Jana passed away, she was 13 years old. Let us now discuss symbolism, which was suddenly all around Kobe the night before he passed away. Kentavious Caldwell Pope, a Lakers player, entered the arena that evening with a graphic tee featuring a blazing skeleton wearing Kobe's jersey, a burning skeleton wearing a Lakers number 24 uniform.
And scoring. That's a big accomplishment. And I think that's something that should be appreciated. I think we don't appreciate each other as much as we should. As humanity, and I think something like that should be appreciated. We should appreciate people while they're alive, and accomplishments like that is something that we don't typically see. So
then, only hours before Kobe passes away, his old teammate Dwight Howard says this. Not to mention that Kobe's hometown, the Staples Center, hosted the Grammy Awards on the day of his death. Do you think it is really a coincidence that just hours after his death, the industry hosts a big award event in the location where both of his jerseys hang in the rafters? The word Grammys is equivalent to the number 33 in numerology. Additionally, LA is 13 in simple gematria, Kobe is 33, Mamba is 33, and they all match Jana's age. The message was posted on November 13th, 2012, and the person's Twitter username also sums up to 33. Then, following Kobe's passing, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the famous Lakers player known for his understated style, appears on CNN while sporting a Lakers jersey bearing the number 33. Kobe's sneakers had significance as well. Since black is the international color of sadness for death, LeBron wore black shoes the night he passed Kobe and inscribed onto them, "For life, Mamba." When you consider that Kobe was still alive when those sneakers were worn, it is eerie, and the icing on the cake. The entire situation is said to resemble the same symbolism that people constantly connect with high-level blood sacrifices. Do you know the theory? How some celebrity deaths are ritualistic farewells rather than terrible accidents. That same evening, Kobe's home court, Staples Center, hosted the Grammy Awards when superstars popped champagne inside and fans lit candles outside. It was a clash of two worlds. Celebration on stage, sadness on the sidewalk, and conspiracy circles were yelling at that alone. Do not misunderstand. We are not claiming that this is confirmed, but the timing is also a factor. Exactly 1 week prior to the Super Bowl, Kobe passed away. Some claim that just before significant world events, the so-called sacrifice window opens. What about Kobe? He was developing into more than just an athlete, a legacy builder, entrepreneur, an Oscar winner. And it is said that when strong black men achieve that degree of success, success without following the rules, the system either embraces them or rejects them. And then there was the NBA's reaction. Every club started their game with either an 8-second backcourt penalty or a 24-second shot clock violation the day after Kobe's passing. Kobe's 2 legendary jersey numbers are honored symbolically. Additionally, note that Kobe passed away precisely 1 week prior to the Super Bowl. In conspiracy circles, it is common knowledge that significant celebrity sacrifices frequently take place in the run-up to large broadcast events like the Grammys or the Super Bowl, even though it may not mean much to the average person. Now, we do not know where Kobe was spiritually before he died, but what he did in his last hours, like early on a Sunday morning before most people even wake up, tells us a lot about who he was. He arrived at Newport Beach's Our Lady Queen of Angels for the 7 a.m. liturgy. Additionally, Kobe stated in that little conversation that he wanted to get confirmed in order to essentially take his religion to the next level. He and Gigi boarded the helicopter that killed them a few hours later. Another theory now that could be a reach. Given that Kobe was spotted at one of Diddy's parties just a month before the accident, many believe Diddy was involved.
Okay, I'm really not trying to reach, but I have a little story to share. One day, while I was out shopping, the news broke of Kobe Bryant's passing. So I was at the grocery store when I struck up a conversation with a gentleman, and he said he was probably set up. So, confused, I asked him to explain. He claimed to be one of the Power Rangers attorneys, and he represented many celebrities. So he said that he knows a cover-up when he sees one.
Here's the problem though. Kobe was allegedly not the saint they portrayed him as. To begin with, anyone who is in Diddy's social circle cannot be involved in any bad activities. However, most people are unaware of anything that is concealed in his history. Kobe, The Making of a Legend, is the title of a documentary that CNN really released. It went there rather than just his basketball career, all the way back to 2003 when a 19-year-old Colorado hotel employee accused Kobe of sexual assault. Imagine it then. The summer of 2003 is upon us. One of the NBA's top names, Kobe Bryant, is 24 years old and just finished leading the Lakers to another championship. He has a newborn daughter at home with his wife, Vanessa. Life ought to be secured. Kobe, however, winds up on the main page for something much more sinister. In Colorado, a 19-year-old hotel worker accused him of writing an essay. This was not gossip from the tabloids. In fact, the day following the incident, this girl went to the police. In order to have knee surgery, Kobe checked into the Portolera Lodge and Spa, according to the police report. She was in charge of the reception area. He requested a private tour of the property from her. She concurred. They found themselves in his chamber. Allegedly, that is where everything went wrong. Before Kobe tried to push things further, she informed police that she was fine with them kissing. He allegedly assaulted her after grabbing her by the neck when she refused. She claimed that his hold tightened each time she refused. She repeatedly refused, telling the police that she was afraid. He then approached her face to make sure she would not tell anyone. She then filed a report on it. She reported it to the police the following day after telling a coworker about it. It was taken seriously by the police. She was even interviewed on camera by Detective Doug Winters. When he asked her how it escalated and exactly where Kobe touched her, she gave him a direct response. She was strangled. This is the portion that many folks overlook. Kobe's initial reaction when the cops called him about it was not about what had transpired. It has to do with his wife. I really do not want Vanessa to know, he told them. He then asserted that she was the one who initiated contact and that it was consensual. However, Kobe was charged with criminal sexual assault when the matter became public. He might have spent up to 4 years in prison if found guilty. The media was all on her for years in prison, but almost instantly the public took a side, and it was not hers. Kobe received a standing ovation at basketball games while she was being dragged. He received the Teen Choice Awards Choice Male Athlete of the Year award 2 weeks after the charges were dropped. To support him, people were really setting up camp outside the courthouse. At the same time, the girl who came forward was being completely destroyed online and in the media. She was the model for how a victim can be transformed into a villain, and Kobe's team knew exactly what they were doing in the early days of the internet. His attorneys arrived in force. Despite the prohibition against it, they called the victim to an open court. They then made an attempt to claim that her injuries might have resulted from having sex with other guys. They made the outrageous allegation that she had dated 3 different men in 3 days. What exactly does that prove? In addition to trying to win, they also tried to bury her. The court then allowed them to dig. In fact, the court decided that the trial may make use of her sexual past. Things began to spiral at that point. However, Kobe's legal team, the media, and the system simply wore her down over time. "I do not want to do this anymore," she told the DA over the phone when jury selection began in 2004. Suddenly, the lawsuit was dismissed. However, this did not conclude with the claim that he was innocent. She filed a civil claim when the criminal charges were withdrawn. It was resolved in private. Kobe also apologized in public as part of it. "I apologize for getting caught with energy as well. It is not your usual." After hearing her side, he genuinely stated that he could understand her belief that she had not given her consent.
I didn't force her to do anything against her will. I'm innocent. No. You gotta sit here in front of you guys, furious in myself. So I sit down on myself. I love my wife with all my heart. She's a backbone. You're a blessing. You're a beats in my heart. You're the air I breathe. You're the strongest person I know. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Having to put you through this, having to put up our family through this.
The problem is this: after all of that, Vanessa still forgiven him. Though not to Kobe, the damage had already been done. Following this conviction, the DA noted, allegations of sexual assaults in Eagle County fell precipitously. Women were no longer willing to come forward. After witnessing what this girl endured, who would? Let us discuss how Kobe changed following the case.
What did you learn from that whole experience? Just having to go through what you went through.
God is great.
Is it that simple?
God is great. Don't get no simpler than that, bro.
Did you know that? I mean, everybody knows that, but the way you know it now, did you know it before that incident took place?
You can know it all you want, but until you got to pick up that cross that you can't carry, and he picks it up for you and carries you and the cross, then you know.
The Black Mamba alter ego enters the picture here. It seems that he made it to keep his private life apart, his strategy for psychologically withstanding the criticism. It caused him tunnel vision, according to friends. Lakers employees claimed that he became a dragon due to his rage. Scoop Jackson, a journalist, claimed that the case changed his perspective, and his image immediately recovered after all of it. He earned a worldwide celebrity after winning rings.
Kobe Bryant, the guy was accused of rape and then came back, played good basketball, and people were like, "Oh, don't forget about that." You're like, what? How do you not forget about something he was accused of? It's interesting that when people put out good movies, I mean, a lot of things that Alec Baldwin did, I mean, it was just a complete piece of shit, and then he'll go on Saturday Night Live, make people laugh, and then people are like, "Oh, he didn't call his daughter a pig. Okay, let's move on." Or he didn't spit on a paparazzi, or, it's like people have that way of making people forget about the crappy things they've done by doing something that people like.
Although Kobe's legacy is complex, people could not help but question the timing when the document was released. Years after his passing, why reveal this now? Some believed it was an effort to destroy his reputation. Others thought it might have been a power maneuver to draw attention to the icon's darker aspect. Was Kobe's death, however, merely an unfortunate accident? Or did it fit into a larger, darker picture? We may never find out the truth, though. Was it a setup or an accident? Saint or sacrifice? You make the decision. Vanessa, meantime, is still going strong. As though her life depended on it, she is still out here protecting Kobe's legacy. But for a moment, let us be honest. What is actually left to defend? He was undoubtedly a legend, but he also had some very real problems. Indeed, those devils may have been so thoroughly ignored that they are now in the foundation. Let us not pretend that the industry does not appreciate a well-written legacy tale. Keep it adorable, tie it up with a bow, and clean up the mess. We can see the flaws, though, and the people are not stupid. You are not even prepared for what comes next if you thought this was crazy. We are delving deeply into the most heinous secrets of the industry, including the sacrifices, cryptic messages, cover-ups, and things they hope you never question. Therefore, proceed to get your munchies, charge your phone, and watch the next video.